hey, we can make your movie the most talked about movie on social media over this weekend. We'll get like 20 of the biggest influencers to talk about it because it creates this organic word of mouth.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. All right, we're talking food today, guys. I got Lawrence Longo in the building. How's it going, my man?
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
Absolutely. I'm pumped for this one. I'm big into food, so I can't wait to hear your journey. How old were you when you sort of got started in the food restaurant industry?
My whole life I've been eating.
Yeah.
I've eaten like 45,000 meals.
Damn, you count them?
But my family was a very big food family, not in terms of my grandfather actually said, do not get in entertainment, do not get in the restaurant business. Both of the businesses that I've been in. So, but coming from an Italian family, at breakfast, we'd be like, what's for lunch? For lunch, what's for dinner? For dinner, what are we ordering after dinner?
Yeah.
So it was like always food. But I never thought of it as a way to make money or have a living or, or just like a career. And I guess about 8 years ago, I was working in film and social media and kind of like just trying to find my way. And I started an app called Off the Menu. Mm-hmm. And it kind of dove me headfirst into the food business.
Yeah.
And Off the Menu was an app originally that curated secret menu items. Mm-hmm. So I'd go around across the country and find secret menu items, and I would add them to my app. But I didn't have a way of making money through the app. So I turned that into a food club, where I was telling you before, it's $20 a month,
right? And
you get one free secret menu item a day, and it drives foot traffic into restaurants. Mm-hmm. And that's really where I understood and learned about the food business.
Yeah.
But I've only been in the food business probably for like 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's cool because you were ahead of your time, because now a lot of restaurants partner with influencers, local influencers, and I feel like that app was sort of the start of that era, right?
100%. Yeah. I mean, I came from, so when I moved I'm from Toronto, I moved to LA in the early 2000s, and I started working for the president of Silver Pictures. So he was making like The Matrix and Swordfish and Lethal Weapon and like those types of movies. Mm-hmm. And you realize like content is king. That's what they say in Hollywood. It's like all about the content. And then from there, I produced Spaceballs, the animated series for Mel Brooks. And then I got into social media marketing. There's an app called Vine that started, and Twitter was around. And we started promoting getting influencers, which I had no idea what an influencer was at the time, but we called them influencers. Mm-hmm. And we'd have them talk. We'd go to like Warner Brothers and say, hey, we can make your movie the most talked about movie on social media over this weekend. And how we do it is we'll get like 20 of the biggest influencers to talk about it. And what it does is it creates this organic word of mouth.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was like, holy you actually can like speed up word of mouth through social media. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it led me to the app. I definitely took everything I've learned from Hollywood, social media, and then brought it to food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you even see that with like Netflix shows these days. The Squid Game one blew up because of TikTok. Did you see that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was crazy. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't not see it. It was all over my feed. And even with restaurants, like I feel like these influencers are driving a substantial amount of traffic. Like Keith Lee, if he posts your restaurant, you're doing like 5-6 figures that week.
Yeah, we got lucky. He came into the Durango.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and he went to a bunch of the spots. He went to Prince Street Pizza. He had gone there a couple weeks earlier in New York.
Oh, wow.
And he did us, Joe's Pizza, and I think John's Bleecker, and he gave us the best score.
Nice.
They weren't great scores, but they were good. Like he dogged some pizza places in New York that are like legendary spots.
I know.
And it's like, you never want to see anybody get dogged or anything like that, and those restaurants will be fine, but he gave us a great score, and then he came to Vegas and gave us an even better score.
That's interesting.
So for me, like, if you say that pizza's better in Vegas than it's in New York, I was like, oh, that's
a bit weird to me.
but
did you see his city rankings
No, oh yeah. I did actually
Yeah.
see. New Orleans was number one, or
Something like that. New York was like 6,
yeah.
which is interesting to me. I got New York in my top 3.
I mean, it really depends on where you go in New York and what your like food tastes are. Like his palate is for a certain audience, right?
Right.
Like your palate might be for another audience. Mine might be for, other people. Like so like food's so subjective.
Right.
You can't like nothing's the best.
Yeah.
Maybe for you it's the best, maybe for me it's the best. But what if you went to my burger joint and my burger cook was having a bad day and he wasn't putting the love into the food that the other cook was the previous day? So there's a lot of like one little thing that goes wrong. Somebody forgets to salt the burger.
Yeah.
Your burger's not the same. One person forgets to do, what I'm saying? So like food is also where you eat it, the experience you eat it. Eating a slice of pizza in New York City on the block of is like there's nothing better than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think it like food is really just subjective. But God, he's a great,
He's an animal.
he's
Yeah.
so good for independent restaurants and mom and pop restaurants that he gives them that push, and you see a line like out the block.
It's crazy. Yeah, food is subjective, honestly. And it's also who you're with, too, sometimes. Sometimes you're with, like, your boys having a great night. You'll go back to the same restaurant with someone you never met, and maybe you don't like them or the energy's off, and the food, it gets into the food sometimes. You know what I mean?
100%. Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure if you've ever been on a bad date, you never remember that meal.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. That's funny, man. Congrats on the new openings in the Durango. Those places were both amazing. I ate at them. The line was like, I waited like 40 minutes. I actually met Drake's producer in line for Prince Street Pizza.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Super small world. So that might have helped my influence on it, but the pizza was amazing in my opinion. So congrats, man.
I appreciate that. You'll never know who you meet in lines while waiting for food. People who wait in lines for food, it's a serious dedication because you don't have to. There's so many options, right? So when you choose to wait in line, you're making that choice to, for that experience. So I hope the pizza better be good.
It was bomb. And I saw all the photos of like the celebrities that have pulled up. I saw Portnoy came.
Yeah.
Did he do a food review on it?
Yeah, he's done our locations. We love him. He's a fan of Prince Street, so
nice.
We're indebted to him for obviously loving our pizza because that guy can drive foot traffic to your restaurant.
What did he give it?
In New York, he gave it an 8.6.
Damn, for him, that's really high.
Oh, we were like the third highest New York score for a long time.
Holy crap.
Yeah, for a long time. And then in LA, it wasn't as good, and it was like part of that experience. Like my front of house person didn't know who he was. So he gave him a cold pizza.
Oh.
It was like, you know what I mean? And that's where, but he gave us a 7.6.
Okay. That's still respectable for him.
It's a good score for him.
Yeah.
But it's not like an 8.6 where we would have loved to.
Yeah. So you don't know when he's coming. He just pulls up.
It's so funny. When he came to LA, I told my team too, this is what really made me upset. I was like, guys, Portnoy's in town. He's coming by. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I knew. In my gut, I knew because I saw where he was going, and they still gave him a cold pizza. But
still sold it.
Yeah.
Is it true on the West Coast the pizza spots fly out the water from New York?
So we don't fly it out. That would be expensive. We probably wouldn't. We'd probably be out of business if we were flying it out. But what we do is we have a water filtration system. And what it does is it takes the LA water and it makes it through chemical process like New York water.
Wow.
Yeah, because all water is the same. It's just the chemical makeup of the water in every city.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And why is the New York water so much better for making pizzas?
I'm not the guy to answer that question.
Okay.
Because some people believe it's not true. Like some people will swear to the death that it is not true. That's a myth that New Yorkers made in order to keep their pizza great. And they say it's harder, you know what I mean? It keeps its shape better. Like, so I think a lot goes into the making of the dough, the amount of yeast you put in, the way you ferment it, like all those types of things. Really, like there's so many factors, as I was saying, that go into making a good quality food, dough, crust, sauce, So, but I promised the family, when I'd open up more stores that we had to have the New York water
Absolutely.
because they believe that it is part of the magic.
Absolutely. Now, growing up in an Italian household, were you experimenting with other cuisines, or did you only eat Italian food?
No, it was heavy Italian, very
Okay.
heavy Italian, because you know that your parents and grandparents cook what they know. And I honestly didn't eat sushi until I was 17 or 18 years
Damn.
old. I didn't have Indian food until I was 21.
Wow.
I didn't have like Korean barbecue until I moved to LA. Yeah, like now that I think about it, I ate pizza, burgers, Chinese food.
Chinese in New York is a classic.
Yeah.
Man. Those little white boxes.
So, you know, I didn't. It was a heavy Italian food growing up.
Yeah. I didn't eat out growing up. We always cooked. Also, Asian household. So when I got to get out there and start experimenting, I was like, damn, I feel like I missed out on the world.
Absolutely. I mean, I eat Indian food now like once a week.
Same.
I love it.
I love Indian, dude. I get just spicy too.
Yeah, I
Like-
can't handle spice.
Oh, you can't?
I sweat on mild chicken wings.
Damn, no, they're like 1 to 10. I always get like 7 to 8 at least,
Yeah.
because it clears your system up. Like
I-
food is actually healing. When I'm a little sick, like I'll get some curry and I'll feel amazing after.
No, you're right, because you can sweat it out.
Yeah.
So I don't mind spicy food if I'm eating it by myself and I can have a towel. You know what I mean? But when I go to a restaurant, people seeing a fat guy sweat, it's not cool.
Yeah, I feel that. In 2018, you ate a burger every single day for the whole year, right?
Yeah.
And what were some takeaways there? Which cities and states stood out to you for burgers?
So California is the burger capital of America.
Okay.
I mean, the one of the things that I learned of eating a burger every day for a year was that there's so many different types of burgers. And that goes for pizza too. There's so many different types. Like, so the hot craze right now, and I'm an investor in actually this was a smash burger.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the biggest craze that I think that hit the burgers in probably the last 10 years at
They
least.
grew quick.
Yeah. So, well, no, I'm talking about like the actual, not the company smash burger. It's the smash burger craze.
Oh, like the style of the burger?
There's a burger company called Burgers Never Say Die. This guy was making these smash burgers in his backyard, and he'd have 2-hour lines. And I ate that burger, and I was like, holy this burger, there's something special. You got a little bit of a crunch. It made you feel like that's what McDonald's is supposed to taste like. And but what I learned from that is that you have smash burgers, you have restaurant burgers, you have thick burgers. There's all different types. You have a Juicy Lucy, which the cheese is inside.
Right.
It came out of Minnesota. And you have all these different style of burgers. So you might like a thick burger. I might like a smash burger. Well, then they're completely different. Like, it's like saying a Chicago-style deep dish pizza is like a New York slice. Well, they're almost like two different types of food.
Definitely.
But they're called pizzas.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's one thing I learned, is that it's the experience. Like, the best place to eat a burger isn't necessarily the best burger in the city. And like Apple Pan, for instance, in LA, best place to eat a burger. You sit at the burger. It's like a burger. Have you been there?
Apple Pan?
Yeah.
No, I
It's
haven't.
one of those old school. You sit at the counter. They serve you the burger. You
Okay.
feel like you're in 1950 or 1960 eating a burger. And that experience is, there's like nothing else. It's like kind of like, I'm going to throw this out there, In-N-Out burger. In-N-Out is the best in consistency, the best in service, maybe even cleanliness.
Yeah.
Is it the best burger? If you had that side by side to many other burgers, it wouldn't be the best burger.
I'd say for fast food, it's pretty high.
For fast food, in terms of quality, in terms of price, in terms of all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you're comparing it to Burger King, McDonald's, you know, like these types of burgers that, In-N-Out blows those out of the water.
Yeah.
But you take like, I can't say it because I own Irv's Burgers, but like the quality of an Irv's Burgers, just from the bun, the meat, the like everything, is a better burger than In-N-Out burger.
You're probably using higher quality bread, meat.
Everything.
Yeah.
But my goal with Irv's is to get it to the level of operation as in and out. That's everybody's goal.
Yeah.
Is to get to that in and out level of service.
Yeah, they probably have the best fast food service I've ever seen, actually.
For sure.
Because most places are so dirty when you walk inside.
Yeah.
And Chick-fil-A, those two are super clean.
Absolutely. And Raising Cane's.
Yeah, Cane's does well too, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name a cuisine, and you tell me which city or state has the best cuisine for that dish. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Pizza.
New York.
Okay.
That
was easy, right?
Well, I mean, that's like, I'd get crucified if I didn't say that.
Some people say Connecticut, though, right?
Well, so the truth is, I've actually never had pizza in Connecticut. I need to go and do it.
Okay.
I've had this style of pizza, but I haven't had, like, I had it through Goldbelly delivered, but I haven't actually sat at Colony Grill and eaten it. So
Same.
Or Sally's. So, but I have to say New York.
Okay, fair enough. Sushi.
You're saying America?
Yeah, in America.
California.
Cali?
Yeah.
Okay. Mexican food.
San Diego.
Ooh.
Probably San Diego.
Okay. Italian.
New York.
New York. Okay.
What
Burgers.
do you think?
For Italian? Yeah, I'd say New York or Jersey. I grew up in Jersey.
Yeah.
Probably New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere where there's like Toronto's got it, and I know that's not America, but Toronto's got unbelievable Italian food.
Really?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I've never been
It's like
there.
where the Italian immigrants settled, right? Like
Got
New
it.
York, Toronto, those places. Montreal's cuisine is insane.
They have a lot of French food there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there when I
There's
was.
There's a place called Joe Beef. And the guys that own Joe Beef, in like one of the best meals I've ever had. But it's like the experience. I sat there with a group of buddies for a bachelor party.
Yeah.
You have like moose heads on the wall, and it's like you feel that very like heavy French Canadian like experience.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Steakhouses.
I've had some pretty good steaks in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not New York. Peter Luger.
I love Peter Luger. Love it. Great thick burger. Great bacon. I went to Dallas, a couple steakhouses in Dallas, and they just blew me away.
Wow.
Yeah.
You remember the names?
Yeah. Nick and Sam's, and I'm blanking on the other one I went to. That was unbelievable.
I gotta check that out. I'm going there next month.
Yeah.
Nick and Sam's.
I'll find out. I'll give you a list of them. I went to 3 that were just. This is now, I guess, 2.5 years ago. But
Wow.
yeah.
That is exciting. Okay. So Cali, New York, and Dallas are your favorite kind of cities for food?
Yeah, I'd say here's I'm going to give the ultimate city for food is right here in Las Vegas,
I agree.
because Las Vegas has everything.
Are you interested in coming on the Digital Social Hour podcast as a guest? Well, click the application link below in the description of this video. We are always looking for cool stories, cool entrepreneurs to talk to about business and life. Click the application link below, and here's the episode, guys.
And it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I would say we, the Las Vegas handpicks the best of every market and brings it here. So
Yeah.
like some of the best Italian restaurants are here. Some of the best steakhouses are here. The best pizza, so overall, I would say like Las Vegas is one of the best food cities.
I agree. Even just getting in the Durango, there must have been hundreds of people that applied, right? They probably just picked the best of the best.
I think they picked people. I don't know if it was like an apply type of thing. I think
Okay. They approach you.
Yeah, there's a guy there named Tal Cooperman
I know Tall.
who's has his hands in the food there for sure. Like,
Got it.
That guy, I was just on a food tour with him in LA where he's looking for like the best things.
That is a fun job, man.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that. I don't know how often you eat here. Do you eat in Vegas a lot?
I've been eating in here a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to favorite resort to eat at, do you have a favorite?
Oh, hands down, Durango.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean the way that they've picked the food. Nico's Steakhouse, unbelievable. Mijo's Mexican was like awesome. And I'm eating here the first like months that these places open, so they're only going to get better.
Right.
Then you got Ipono, the Hawaiian food, street food. And then the best custard I've ever tried, ice cream maybe in my life, Nielsen's.
Yeah, that was fire.
You
I
know?
tried. There's one by my house. There's a few of them in Vegas. That stuff is good.
So, and then I haven't been to Fountain Blue yet. I hear their food's pretty.
Komodo was good. That's the only spot I've eaten at there.
Yeah.
Durango is a newer one. That's probably why it's not on people's radar yet, but that's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I had Peter Luger's at Caesars.
How was it in Vegas compared to New York?
So a lot of people shit on it.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't say that. I thought it was amazing.
Okay.
It was just as good as New York when I had it.
It's good to know. I'll try it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've heard some bad things.
Yeah. People like to on good stuff because they get more clicks or they get more like attention like on social. It's like we get it a lot with Prince Street. You wait in line for 30 minutes and like it's a long time to wait for food. And if it's not the best pizza you've ever had, then all of a sudden it's the worst. But it's not never the worst. Like, I've had bad pizza. Go to 7-Eleven. You'll try the worst pizza. Same with burgers. Like, go have a burger at like Arco, and you'll have a bad burger.
And I feel for real. I feel like Vegas has some of the most strict reviewers, honestly.
Yeah.
And when I see reviews, and because there's some really bad reviews here, and they talk about the price, I feel like those aren't as authentic because you know what you signed up for when you're going. The price is obviously going to be higher when you're eating on the strip. So I think when people factor that into the review too much, I don't really read those.
Yeah, well, that's not fair because they don't know what, like, generally as a restaurateur, you want value. You want to give your customers value. Mm-hmm. And sometimes restaurateurs sign bad rent deals.
Yeah.
And on the strip, I mean, the strip for the most part, that's the casinos that are running those places. But yeah, listen, the rent is high. Mm-hmm. So it has to go into the food cost. But it's not cool when restaurants just jack it up because they know that they can. Like we have places in Malibu, and the one thing I said, I'm not jacking the prices up because we're in Malibu.
Wow.
I probably should have because it's high rent and there's things, but I was like, no, like we need to be a value proposition to the customers. And, so I kept the prices the same as they are in LA.
Wow.
Where everybody else raises their prices when they get to Malibu. But the locals actually made comments on that. They said, oh, we noticed that you didn't. We noticed. Like they actually went and looked at my menus at other places and they noticed that we didn't raise the prices.
That's cool, man.
Which is very cool because if we had, obviously, all of a sudden they're like,
Yeah, and I noticed you really value the local community wherever you open up your spots.
That's what it's about. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I've got some hype brands, but when you go into a community, you need to be a part of that community because the hype goes away. Mm. The hype is there. If it can last, it lasts a week. If it lasts 3 months. At some point, you're not hyped forever. Right. You're not the new shiny thing forever. So it's important to really reach out to the communities and be a part of that community and serve that community. Mm.
So many restaurants fail, and you're seeing success just 8 years into the business. Do you think you're doing anything differently from other restaurant owners?
I guess I am. I think like I said, I took the things I brought from Hollywood, the Hollywood business, content.
Right.
So the content is the one thing, like I tell everybody, it's like, oh, the lines are long, but was the food good? Was the food good?
Right.
Because that's the most important, right? You'll wait in line, like people waited in line to see Star Wars. They waited 3 hours in line to see Star Wars. It was a good movie. You know what I mean? So if the product's good, people will wait. And that's the one thing is content is king.
Right.
So I tell other like young restaurateurs, if they ask me like, what's one thing, have one thing on your item that is craveable and irresistible that people leave wanting more. And that spicy spring pizza for us was hands down for sure the thing that made Prince Street what it was. And the burger at Irv's was
so good.
So it's I think that's the one thing. And then it's like leaning into social media. People are on their phones. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking about marketing your business, I mean, if you're not marketing on your phone, where are you?
Right. These days you got to adapt. Yeah. Does the 80-20 rule apply in restaurants? Are there 20% of your dishes driving 80% of the revenues?
Absolutely.
Wow, it's crazy
Well,
how
that's
it
what I said.
applies.
Is like have one dish. It's like 70% of my sales is one pizza.
Nice.
But you want to but we created this other pizza a couple of years ago called the Naughty Pie with an influencer from Miami, the Naughty Fork. And she was like, and we donated proceeds to the Humane Society for that. And she created this pizza with us. And it was and now it's one of our best selling pizzas.
Nice.
So it's, but yeah, it definitely, people go to a restaurant for one thing. And every restaurant you can think of, there's one thing on that menu that everybody loves.
Yeah, I love that. When I go out and eat, I like to see simple menus, honestly. 1, 2, 3 pages max. When it's too many pages, it's overwhelming.
Pages. It should be one page.
That's what I mean.
It's one page. People do not want, you got to limit your options and lead with what you're awesome at. Because the Cheesecake Factory model, that's too hard for operations.
It's 10 pages on the menu.
Yeah, and when you get hungry for a burger. You get hungry for Indian food. And you go to the spot where has great Indian food, right? Or the spot that has a great burger. If you go to, where are you going if you're going to Cheesecake Factory? You can't be something for everybody, Yeah.
So. And imagine the supply chain on that with all the different food items. Must be a nightmare.
It's insane. I mean, obviously that they're one of the most successful restaurants in America, but I think it was at a different time.
Yeah.
But so I can't I only wish I could be as successful as the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh man, I love cheesecakes, but those ones are a little too sweet for me actually.
The Cheesecake Factory ones? Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to go hard at those, but
we have an unbelievable that we do import from New Jersey.
Oh yeah?
Unbelievable cheesecake at Prince Street.
No way. I didn't even see those. Do you have to order it?
No, it's right there. It's at the right at the front.
Really? Oh, I might get that next time, dude.
Yeah.
I love cheesecake, man. Oh.
You probably don't have to wait in line. You just go to the front and say, "Hey, I just want to order the cheesecake."
I'm excited now. Have you tried anything with food trucks or ghost kitchens? I see those kind of emerging.
Yeah. So I guess this breaking news: we're going to be opening up a ghost kitchen here in Las Vegas in order to serve the delivery market.
Nice.
Yeah, I forget exactly where it is, but it's Rainbow. It's in Summerlin.
So it'll be on Postmates and
it'll be on Postmates and Uber Eats.
Nice. That is clutch, dude. Because right now you can only order in person, right?
Yeah. It's we just don't have enough space or enough oven space to to do delivery out of the Durango right now. So
now, what percentage of revenues come from online ordering versus in person right now for you?
Every store is different.
Okay.
So in high foot traffic areas, it's less delivery, but in LA, some places would be 50-50.
Damn. So that's a big chunk of change.
Because there's not a lot of foot traffic, and people in LA like things to come to them.
Right, because they're up in the hills. They don't want to drive there.
Exactly.
Wow, I didn't realize it was so high. 50%.
Yeah. I mean, that's a couple stores, but Yeah. So.
How are you approaching these influencers? Because there's probably restaurant owners that will watch this and they have no idea how to go about social media marketing.
So I think there's and this is, I don't want to say my secret sauce, but influencers aren't just foodies, food influencers.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that you don't want to get food influencers. You do, but you not necessarily, because they're just trying all foods all the time. And it's almost like they're doing every restaurant and they're, and it's the person who has 1,000 followers who goes to your restaurant and then posts about it is more important, because that person probably has 50% of their followers live in that community where you are. And actually, if they don't talk about food every day and they start talking about food, there's a reason why they're doing that.
Wow.
And their engagement is higher. So the way I look at it is don't just go after food influencers to promote your stuff. Go after a ballerina that lives in your city, a hockey player, a mechanic, or you know what I mean? Everybody eats. Everybody has an opinion on food that's valid, because everybody eats every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why just go after food influencers? They're important. Don't get me wrong. I'll try to make sure that they all come and try the food, because they do have the widest voice. But I think if you're a smaller mom and pop shop, focus on local. Focus on the people that have an audience that actually live around your restaurant.
Yeah. I love that, man. People overthink it, but it's really the locals just hitting them up. Are you messaging them, or are they just posting, you're reposting?
Yeah, we sometimes try and do like an event to really like show that we're there.
Right.
And yeah, it's not like we don't ever pay anyone to
Really?
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, wow.
That's one thing I'll draw the line on, and is like, we don't, I 100% believe in it. Like for like events, and like, if you have a product, or if like that's just part of like, that's a marketing spend you need to do. But as like a mom and pop restaurant, I will give you free food. I don't say you have to post. You don't have to do whatever you want. But, you know, that's the exchange that people just generally know, you know?
Yeah.
But I truly think that if you have food that photographs well, people want to take photos of it.
Right.
If you give people a good service, people want to tell other people that they had that good experience. The same way if they have a bad experience, they also want to go and Yelp and tell you they had a bad experience.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, no, like for when I do events like the Burger Showdown or things like that, yeah, there gets times where you pay influencers or people to do something, because that's part of how they make money. But my local restaurants, I won't go to like influencers and say, hey, come and like I'll pay you to post about it.
Yeah.
You know? So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've hosted burger showdowns. You've done a wing showdown with celebrities. What's next for you in terms of fun marketing stuff?
Yeah, so I've got a couple cool things coming up in the new year, but we're doing, so I do this thing called Tenderfest, which is a chicken tender festival. And it's been going on for the last 4 years now.
Wow.
We do it at the Wallace Annenberg Center for Performing Arts. And what I do is I have celebrity chefs make chicken tenders, and then I bring in all the best chicken tender vendors in the city. So we have like Raising Cane's and Willie Mays and all like the best chicken tenders. But then I also have like Wolfgang Puck and Nancy Silverton and these people that make chicken tenders. And we have a competition called The Contender. And the celebrity chefs compete. So the last one we did, do you know the rapper Bun B?
Yeah.
With Trill Burgers?
Yeah.
He won.
Wow.
And now from winning Tenderfest, he now has Trill Tenders.
No way.
Legit business.
That's cool.
And do you know Chain Festival?
Chain Festival.
So it's you'll hear of it. BJ Novak's like marketing kind of like concept. Tim Hollingsworth won the first ever chicken tender festival. And they have like at their chain events, they have his chicken tenders.
Dude, that's cool to see you bring competitors together, because you can like hate on your competitors, but you're just being inclusive of everyone.
Absolutely. I mean, I do Tenderfest because it's you know, the first 2 years we didn't make money, and it was like a big loss, but it was so fun and people loved it.
Yeah.
So where we do the Tenderfest at the same place they do the Vanity Fair party for the Oscars. So you have these very high-low. You have this very expensive high-end venue with this kind of low-end food, and it just makes for like tons of celebrities go to it. It's like tons of influencers go to it.
Yeah.
And like, so Heinz sponsored last year.
Nice.
Stella. And next year, or this year coming up, we're doing it in Pittsburgh and Chicago.
Wow. I'll try to make it out, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. People love chicken tenders.
Love me some Chick-fil-A, some chicken tenders, man.
Yeah.
That's a childhood staple right there.
Yeah. So.
Well, what's next for you? Where can people find you? And what's your social media and everything?
So on social media, I'm at Big Shot, BIGSHOT. And then we have at Prince Street Pizza and at Irv's Burgers. At Tenderfest.
Cool. Yeah, we'll link it all below. How many locations are you trying to scale to with the burgers and the pizza?
I truly think that Irv's Burgers can fit in be the local neighborhood burger stand / diner stand everywhere in America.
Nice.
So, you know, that I think I have high hopes for. Prince Street, I believe, you know, it's a little bit more of a premium product. And I feel like we could be in a lot of premium kind of cities, neighborhoods, you know, as well. There's my goal is to be the best that we can be. And, you know, it's not about opening 1,000 restaurants. It's about having quality, Like
Love
I said,
that.
I'd like to be more like In-N-Out than Burger King.
Yeah, they've been selective. They're not on the East Coast yet, right?
No.
And they don't want to be.
Yeah, they're slowly now they're going, but they're going to be opening up in Tennessee in the next couple
Okay.
years, 2025. The way they do it is that they make sure that they open up 6 in an area at a time. Sorry, and so it's like they have like a commissary kitchen, and the way they expand. I mean, they're so smart. They have Hamburger University where everybody goes to train.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
interesting.
it's intense.
Damn. Well,
That's
thanks.
why they're so good.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. That was a super fun episode.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.